What's good, everybody? So, I just finished watching Yu-Gi-Oh! Vrains episode 2. Title was called Grab the Win Storm Access. And honestly, it was a pretty dope episode. So, without further ado, let's begin. Start by saying, I thought the episode was really great. It led off from episode 1 last week, which was pretty much getting to know Yusaku and his lifestyle and his friends. The Knights of Hanoi showed up in the last week's episode, and Yusaku had to duel him because Yusaku what caught Ignis, which was the piece of which is the artificial intelligence the Knights of Hanoi was looking for. And you guys already know, so far the Knights of Hanoi are the bad guys in the current anime. So the duel is going on, they're going back and forth, and the whole point of the episode was to explain what speed duels are. And they showed some pretty cool battle scenes between Yusaku and the Knights of Hanoi guy. I don't believe he had a name, he was just a Knights of Hanoi guy. And he brought out his trump card, which was some dragon that had an effect that every time your opponent would special summon a monster, that monster's attack will get decreased by 200 times their level, and your opponent's life points will get decreased by 200 by their level as well. So say So say for example, the monster got like say 4 stars. Your monster will lose 800 life points, and your opponent will lose the same amount of life points. Well, I think it's 100 times that level. Kind of like got a little confused between watching the episode and taking notes. But pretty much the guy brought out his key monster, and Yusaku's bringing out a little monster. He brought out his Cyber's magician, and we discovered that the Knights of Hanoi guy was shocked that he had a Cyber's monster, and Playmaker was shocked as well. Now, if you guys remember, Playmaker was the main villain. He's like the leader of the Knights of Hanoi, and Playmaker talked to the leader of Soul Technologies a little bit about the Cyber's monsters. And they pretty much briefly went over how Cyber's monsters are pretty much still rare monsters of the show. Kind of like how every season of Yu-Gi-Oh! Have those rare monsters that people are looking for. Like, for example, like the Blue Eyes White Dragon was a rare card in the original series, and Dark Magician, etc., etc. Cyber seems to be the rare archetype that a lot of people have not have, and those cards are really rare pretty much. So they're surprised that Playmaker, can't think of his name right now, Yusaku had that card. So the dude's going back and forth. They're using effects, chaining cards, really a lot of dialogue. So when it came down to speed duels, what we realized so far, if I remember everything correctly, you have 3 monster card zones and 3 spelling traps. They were instantly reminding me of Duel Links. So you guys that don't know the popular game Duel Links that came out, it rushed the nation by storm for like a week, and no one cares about it. It was a Yu-Gi-Oh game. It 3 monster card zones, 3 spelling trap card zones. You only draw 4 cards for the turn, and you get a bunch of different effects throughout the throughout the duel, which is something called skill. And depending on, you can only use your skill once per duel, and you can only use, there's a bunch of different skills you can use depending on the time set in the duel. So for example, one of the skills where you can draw an extra card. One of the skills were for the Knights of Hanoi, they have their own special skill where they can draw 2 cards instead of 1. Special summon an extra monster, etc., etc. Skills go on. Ignis explained this to Playmaker throughout the episode on how these skills are made. And so the Knights of Hanoi guy used his skill to draw 2, and Playmaker was surprised about that. And the reason why the episode was called Grab the Win by Storm Access, because there's this thing in the Cyberse called a data storm, which is like a huge tornado, and it's eating up data. And apparently when you do it in the Cyberse, it's kind of like dueling in the Shadow Realm, where if you fall off your dueling thing, you can die. Even though it's a digital world thing, it's kind of like your brain is hooked up to your AI, and your brain don't know the difference between the AI and reality. That's the point I got of it. So it's kind of like the Matrix. If you die in the Matrix, you die in real life, etc., etc. So kind of like Digimon too. Like, just honestly, the creator of this season had to work on Digimon in some form or fashion, in my personal opinion. So long story short, Yusaku goes into the data storm. Actually, no, the Knights of Hanoi guy, I think he pushes him into the data storm, and Ignis led him to the data storm as well, which is the AI. And Ignis' whole point was he knew that Yusaku did not have enough powerful cards in his deck to beat the Knights of Hanoi villain. So in the data storm, apparently there's a Cyber's rule. It's a skill, and the skill when you're in data storm is that you can dig into the data storm as powerful as you can, and you might get a powerful card. It's at random. So Yusaku used this card, his skill, and luckily grabbed Decode Talker and made that part of his deck. So, long story short, he bring out Decode Talker and beats the Nice Annoy guy. He comboed it with his Cyberse Magician, which allowed Decode Talker to use piercing damage, and this pierced his the Nice Annoy guy's dragon attack and attacked him for game. So yeah, the speed duels, honestly, the concept is great. They have two things in the show: speed duels and master duels. Master Duels, I guess, is pretty much generic Yu-Gi-Oh! Speed Duels is just the more like Duel Links with special different added effects. And they were very brief into the different effects that they go over. So that just lets me know that you're going to have a bunch of different Speed Duel effects throughout the anime. So the episode was really great. Definitely an 8 out of 10. I wish they would have had a little bit more dialogue instead of the whole episode just being an entire duel. But I guess this is a children's anime, so they want to have more action. Next week's episode seems to be the same thing. I might do a video separately on that. Kind of don't know if I am going to not. It had a lot of different dialogue to go into because Playmaker's going to duel the leader of Nice Hanoi, which was Revolver, and Revolver's coming to town with some big bad dragon of Cyberse. And I guess he's going to challenge Playmaker. That's an early prediction, by the way. But yeah, I might break that down. Matter of fact, like the video and let me know in the comment section down below if you guys want me to break down the trailer for episode 3 and give my thoughts and opinion on it. So, with all that being said, guys, post your thoughts and opinions on Yu-Gi-Oh! Vrains Episode 2 in the comment section down below. And if you're a new viewer to the channel, I would love for you to subscribe for more Yu-Gi-Oh! Content. I will be doing Yu-Gi-Oh! Vrains reviews every week once they drop. And I'm going to start doing episode predictions depending on how, in particular, the previews are. So, with all that being said, this is Chris from Innovation Yu-Gi-Oh! And I'm signing out. Peace, guys. Stay innovative. Deuces.